Hello, Namaskar, Adab, Sasyakal, Kasakai, Tirohalai, Game Show. Welcome to Spotlight with Abha, and I'm your host, Abha Jadhav. Friends, HR department is one of the most important department of any organization, as they are the ones who actually bring in the quality employees to any organization. Today, we have an HR leader with us with 18 years of rich and diverse work experience in the areas of talent acquisition, HR generalist, learning and development, organizational development, employee engagement, and HR business partner functions. She has been instrumental in developing, leading, and streamlining the HR and effectiveness and meet organization level goals with the cost, time, and quality parameters. So, friends, please help me welcome Miss Shikha Gupta from Bangalore, Karnataka. Welcome, Shikha ji, to Spotlight with Abha.
Thank you so much, Abha, for this rather large, generous introduction. It's my pleasure to be on Spotlight with Abha.
Wait. Your detailed introduction is still left. So, friends, before I take Shikha onto my round of questions, let me give her a brief introduction. Shikha is currently working as Head Talent Acquisition at Winwire Technologies, Bangalore. She is primarily responsible for attracting talent across levels and geographies, India and US. She is involved in multiple organizations' wide strategic initiatives. Prior to that, she has been a part of both product and IT service organizations like Wipro, On Mobile Global Limited, Tele India, Oracle, and NIIT, where she has been strategically involved in their growth and success while leading different HR functions across geographies. She is currently serving as the president of Karnataka Human Resource Council at WICCI, which we call as Wiki. She is also the head talent hub with Women in Tech India chapter. She is currently serving as the chapter head Karnataka for hashtag Women Power, a global movement by DK Bakshi Global Talent Company. She is associated with Psychology as corporate mentor, Oxford EduServe as honorary member, and EduPost Unite of Scholars as luminary speaker. She is a gold member at the Global Trainer Academy. She is also an executive member at the Global Edu Leaders Organization. She is also an influencer, voice of value with Nuts. She is a registered TED Circle host. She is also associated with NGOs and involved in multiple other social services and CSR initiatives like founding ambassador of Support Saturdays, podcaster at The Guiding Voice, member of TED Circles by The Guiding Voice, member at Women with Wings, and volunteer at Leaders Lifting Leaders. She is also associated with Shine HR as a guest speaker. She is also proud to be associated with Shenzhen and Young Minds for their engagements. She has her YouTube channel where you could catch a glimpse of her perspectives about diverse topics at various industries and academic forums. She has been a globetrotter since childhood and has traveled across the world, US, Europe, Africa, and Asia, learning and exploring different people, cultures, lifestyles, which adds to her rich experience and a liberal, progressive outlook towards life. She believes life is not meant to be lived in one place. This is really amazing, Shikha. You really have a vast and versatile career journey.
Thank you so much. Actually, you made me realize it. I never thought I'm doing so much. It's just that, you just can't sit idle. The hunger, the passion to do something, to make a difference, to inspire people, to just help, to make a difference. I think that's what I'm aiming at. Yeah, nothing more.
So to begin with, how far it's challenging to be on an HR leadership position?
$1 million question. It is a very challenging role, just because, like you said, right? HR deals with people. We are responsible for people, right from attracting people to exiting people in a very graceful manner from the organization, right? So it is a people function, right? And we look after people. How challenging? It is challenging because it touches the different points of an employee life cycle, right? You hire, you attract, you onboard, induct, assimilation, performance management, L&D, employee engagement, and finally one day people decide to move on and you do the exit. So during the entire employee life cycle of an employee, HR plays a very, very key role, right? We are there throughout the journey of an employee. Now, pre-COVID, I think it was easier, if you ask me, because everybody was in office. It was an in-person environment. You could talk, connect, communicate, collaborate, right? It was much easier. During COVID times, HR function has gone through a transformation. Everything has become online, right? You hire online video interviews, Zoom calls, team calls, you do virtual onboarding. All our employee engagement initiatives, sometimes we run out of ideas. Ab kya kare? Because when you're at office, you can do so many activities, fun and games and all that. So employee engagement has become online. L&D, right? How you're delivering those webinars, those training sessions, how effective are they, right? In my mind, the classroom sessions were much more effective, right? Because it's a face-to-face interaction with the students, with the audience, with the employees, right? So all the HR functions, right, have moved from an offline in-person version to an online version. I think the most difficult part today, which all of us are struggling with, and I'm sure my peers and my colleagues will agree, it's okay to hire and onboard, but I think assimilation is a big challenge, right? We do have effective mentoring programs, buddy programs in an organization, but still that human connect is missing. Let's say if I have to hire somebody, we do 5-6 video calls, the person joins, he sees his project manager, his buddy, his team members on a Zoom call. They're not together, right? So assimilating for a new joiner into the system, into the company culture, which he has not seen, he's a virtual hire. I think that is the biggest challenge. And because I think most of us are struggling with that, if you look at the attrition trend in the industry, most of the people who are kind of leaving or exiting an organization and have exited in the last 1.5, 2 years, I think a chunk of them are people who we have virtually onboarded. Because that connect is missing, the human connect, the company culture connect, the organizations are striving hard to make it happen. But I think that is one of the biggest challenges. So assimilation and then retention. Those two, in my mind, are the topmost. But then yes, when I talk to my recruitment folks, the recruitment industry, they will say, Shekha, it's difficult to attract talent also, right? Candidates, the market situation is so volatile. Candidates have multiple offers. They're negotiating hard. That is also a challenge. But I think as we go along, we learn in due course of time. It's been 1.5 years of this, right? And we continue to do that way. Yeah. In my mind, I would sum it up in this manner.
That is really crucial at the moment of this online virtual world we are going through since like 1.5 years. So since lockdown, everything has gone virtual, and this is actually the great problem, if I say. Great in the sense, I am talking in sarcastic way also, and somewhere it is like positively also. Some, positive. Why? Because it has made a world small. and now we are able to connect people globally. But yes, it's very difficult to develop that connect the way you are talking, the way you are saying that it's very difficult to make aware of the organization culture to the new employee. So yes,
beautifully said it. Technology is an enabler, right? They're able to connect people globally. It doesn't matter. Time zones have blurred. People are available 24 by 7. It's easier because you don't have to travel. You're not wasting time in office traffic and all that, right? It's very easy. But that human touch, right? So what used to happen when we used to be at work, some employee has a problem, right? Has an issue with project or with the manager or with something, those chit chat conversations over a cup of chai or in a discussion room, in a conference room, you could actually see the person. Sometimes people really don't need an answer. They just need somebody to hear them out, right? So the HR person is available to talk, to console, to give some guidance. And we have been able to stop resignation. It's as simple as that. But then today, that's not the case, right? We're all in different silos, different locations, houses, streets, roads. That HR and employee connect is not as easy as it used to be, right? So, yeah.
Absolutely. So as an HR leader, Shikha, what will be your tips for the job seekers?
The job market is, I don't know. Let me answer this in two parts. Tips, okay. First thing is, when we were struck by COVID, right, nobody was prepared for it, right? It came like a tsunami or it came like a natural disaster, right? And it hit all of us. I have seen, Abha, so many people from my own fraternity, HR fraternity, good, qualified, intelligent leaders losing jobs. Right? It is very heartening to see something like that. So thousands and millions of people have lost their jobs. That was the first attack, right? After that, what happened is, after a couple of months, or maybe a 6 or 7 months, the job market opened up, right? There were plenty of opportunities. Every company was hiring, big, medium, small, IT, ITES, everybody started hiring. Candidates became even more, volatile, or because of the frustration, because somebody has not been working for the last 6 months, 1 year. I get so many messages on my LinkedIn, ma'am, I'm out of a job, right? Hey, Shikha, look, I have some 15 years of experience and I've been sitting at home for the last 6 months. So that's one part of it, where people lost jobs, did not get employment, frustration, saturation, depression, anxiety, all those mental health issues came into place. The second thing that happened was, now when the job market opened up, candidates started shopping. Everybody had 1, 2, 3, 4 offers. Recruiters are like us, or HR folks like us, are struggling. But we're offering people, right? People don't seem to be joining. So these are two extremes, right? So my simple advice to the job seekers would be, and a couple of tips. A lot of people, just blindly apply for opportunities because the frustration level is so high. Secondly, maybe because the frustration level is so high, because they have to run a family, right? There's a family to feed, you're running your household expenses, your finances, your dependents, right? On that sum of money that you were getting out of the job. So because people are so frustrated, they just blindly apply for jobs. My first tip would be, when you go to a Naukri.com or a Monster.com, and when you run your searches, apply for jobs which are relevant to your work experience, right? Do a good mapping between the CV and the job role that there is. Second, when you apply for jobs, when you're emailing your CV, right, to the email ID, have the correct details. Please mention the job ID. The job code is important. The subject line is important, right? Third, the biggest mistake that people do, a bad resume. Spelling mistakes are such a tough. And you would see that even with mid-level and senior level resumes. I have noticed it personally. A well-formatted, a well-written resume, right? No spelling mistakes. The length of the resume also counts. We still have people with 4 pages, 5 pages, who read so much. You have to make it crisp, attractive, a well-written, well-drafted, well-formatted resume is very important. I think last but not the least, apply for the relevant job. Just don't go, blindly apply for jobs and say, oh, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे कुछ भी नहीं मिल रहा है. You have to see how relevant you are to that job. And if you think you have 80% of the skills and balance 20%, you can upskill, cross-skill, learn, go for it, right? And another thing that I would want to add, when you're applying for a particular job, make sure whatever the job description says, you showcase those skills in your resume in that particular order, right? So that it hits a chord with the recruiter first, right? Because how do we shortlist? We look at the resume, we look at the keywords, we look at the job description, we know what the role requirement is. If 70-80% the resume matches the job role, the candidate gets a call, right? So these things are very important. It's very easy to get frustrated. I'm not getting a job, but are you using the right technique? Are you using the right levers? Right? That's one. That's on the job portal front. Second, please be connected to the industry. Please be connected to your network. Right? So today you and I are connected. You never know, tomorrow I may need your help.
Yes.
But we all help each other. Keep talking to your industry folks. Keep talking to your network. You never know, an opportunity may crop up somewhere. Third is focus on some skilling, some learning. Even if you're jobless, not working, don't just idly waste. I do that time away. Waste that time on watching, I don't know, Netflix, Amazon, do all. Upskill yourself, do some certification courses. There are a lot of these free webinars that are happening. Learn, keep learning something or the other. Somewhere, at some point in time, when you're getting back to the job world, and chalk out a career path. What's it that what you want to do, right? Do certifications or courses in line with that. So all that will also help you de-stress. It's very easy to get into depression, frustration mode. If you keep yourself busy, talking to your network, learning, upskilling yourself, right? It will also keep you away from all the mental health issues that job seekers are seeing these days, right? And there are a lot of WhatsApp groups also available, right? Which posts jobs. Join these WhatsApp groups. You never know, some opportunity may be suitable for you. So there's a lot one can do rather than, feeling dejected. Nothing is happening, kuch nahi ho raha hai. You have to try till you succeed, right? And somebody who never gives up is the one who succeeds. Yeah, I think these tips and tricks should help the job seekers.
Absolutely. Even when you were talking about resume, even I have started analyzing my resume in my thoughts. So definitely I have to again, focus on what tips you have given. So though I don't need one right now, but still I will update my resume.
You can directly talk to me. I'll do it for you. Don't worry.
Thank you so much. So Shikha, I have just gone, we were just talking about your profile details. I came to know that now you are also into speaking and training and coaching. So what brought you into this field?
No, actually, it's not that I started this something very recently. A large part of my career, Abha, has been into campus hiring, right from, I think, way back in 2005 onwards. We are in 2021 today, with IITs hiring BTechs, NITs, B schools, all of that. So when you were on campus, right, you would do that. You would do pre-placement talks, you would do some motivational sessions. I love talking to the millennial generation. For me, bachas are fun, right? The way they think, so spontaneous, so energetic, and good morning, ma'am, welcome, ma'am. It's a very different feeling. And this is the future of our country, right? We as HR folks or as recruitment folks have this responsibility of grooming them, nurturing them, coaching them. So all that used to happen on campus, right? I didn't have to get onto LinkedIn to do some webinar and stuff like that, because out of 12 months in a year, 8 months I used to be on the roads hiring. right? First for internship, then for full-time placement. So I used to be hiring across different colleges. And that's me. I love being with the millennial generation, the way they think. So it used to happen. Now that Corona has come in, restrictions have come in, you cannot travel. Everything is just happening online. So whoever, I recently did a seminar for another university. They said, "Man, you can't travel, but can you just talk to the students, do some tips and tricks on networking for success and all that?" So yeah, that's how it is. But believe me, it's nothing beats the classroom setting. You're standing in that huge auditorium and you're addressing a crowd and it's a live interactive session. I think that high is completely different. I hope we get back to those days soon.
Amen. So yes, I also believe that nothing, no fun can be better than live classes, because I'm myself an educator, and who can better understand that how badly we are missing our children in classes.
So yes, how do you feel doing an online class versus a classroom?
Actually, I'm not at all comfortable, because that connect is missing, that bond I'm not able to create. No doubt, our sessions are still interesting. We try to make as interesting as we can, but still, that when we are teaching live in the class, and sometimes some child does something good, and the pat we give on child's back, or if some child is being little notorious, we just move our fingers on his head and say, "Beta, control yourself." So those things are missing actually, and that those small gestures are actually, they are the elements of creating that bond.
Absolutely. And that's what typically happens, in this campus auditoriums, right? The kind of question answers that come in, the kind of nudging, the kind of applaud, the kind of, all that is missing, right?
Yes.
We're longing for those days to come back.
So, Shikha, you're also associated with many NGOs. So, what is your role with them, and how, what kind of services do you are indulged in with these NGOs?
So, one of them is Support Saturdays, which you talked about. So, it is a platform where we help job seekers who have got impacted by COVID help find jobs. We share their CVs on LinkedIn every Saturday, right? We connect them to the larger industry, to the larger network, and we have some success stories. And we continue to do that. We started about a year back. We just completed our first year on 15th of August. And the other 2-3 NGOs are about women empowerment, right? One of them for WICI Karnataka, I'm the president of the Human Resource Council. So what we do is we try and call, we pick up themes, right, which are globally celebrated. Say June was LGBTQ, May was environment. Last week we did Sports Day. This week we are doing small scale industries. So we pick up different themes that the United Nations celebrates globally, and we try and tap people from our network. And when we get them to so we do a talk show. It happens every Thursday. So people who have been working really hard, women especially, right? These are all women empowerment initiatives. And WICI is founded by Dr. Harbeen Arora. It's a global organization across 120 countries. So we try and pull people from our network, women from our network, who are probably celebrity -1 or celebrity -2, who are doing so much of hard work, but haven't got the real visibility, the limelight, right? So we try and get them on our talk show. We talk to them, we chit chat, we understand their journey, right? And then during this show, they get connected to the larger ecosystem. It goes on Facebook Live, right? It builds more opportunities for them. It brings more business for them, right? It brings them limelight. So that's what we try and do. The ultimate objective, Abha, is once Corona gets over, right, to go out, step out of the house and do road shows, partner with some more NGOs, do something in collaboration. But for now, we've just been doing, different online initiatives. Right? We celebrated Independence Week. Every week, WICI Karnataka Human Resource Council brings a new theme. So this week it's small scale industries. So we've picked up people. There's one girl, a young girl who's into candle making, right? Somebody is into baking, somebody is into art and handicraft and Diwali decorations. So those folks are coming to our platform. It feels good. It feels good to just to help, no matter whether it's a woman in need or a job seeker in the need of a job, and much more than. And I keep saying that somebody else is also asking me, much more than degrees, achievements, accolades. Basic purpose of human life is to help someone. And if I can do it in my capacity, you are doing a lot of work on that front yourself, right? If people like you and me can help in our own capacity, make that little difference to the society, why not?
Absolutely.
Because all of us can create a better world, right?
Absolutely. So, Shikhaji, now this brings us towards the end of our program. So before going, winding up our session, I just want to know but on YouTube channel, what kind of content is being published by you?
So I started this YouTube channel to start a talk show of my own, where I could, get people on my show to talk about themselves, just to share, right? A lot of people don't get that platform. That is still WIP, it's still in construction. Till the time, what I do is, whatever shows I do as a part of Wiki Karnataka, whether I am the host or my colleague does it, I post all those shows on my channel. It's my proprietary, right? I may be with Wiki Karnataka forever. I don't, today, tomorrow, don't know. But whatever we have created as content, as live shows, so that is what I post in one of the sections. The second section is me. So for example, this video will also go up on my channel. People who have spoken to me, who have touched my heart, somebody like you, right? I would want to create that memory with me, right? Otherwise, there's so much of content on YouTube, which it just gets lost. So whatever little work I have done in different platforms or forums, I post all of that on my YouTube channel. So it stays in one place. If somebody wants to take benefit out of it, please feel free to do so, right? And knowledge, it's just like a repository. It's a knowledge repository. But yes, the ultimate objective is to start a talk show where I can get whoever I want and let that person just speak. Before I could even start the talk show, I started doing TED Circles. I'm a registered TED Circles host. Yesterday I did my second TED Circle. And it is such a, and I was telling the participants that it was such a different feeling for me. It was my second TED Circles. For the first time, I had my schoolmates all the way from Mauritius. I had my office mates. I had my Wiki Karnataka people. Everybody joined, some of my LinkedIn connects. It was so nostalgic. I mean, I had goosebumps saying that, I have been able to gather all these people together under one roof. And we had a good 1.5 hours discussion on the theme of the month was irrational. And it was beautiful. So yeah, I definitely want to do my own talk show and, kind of call these people and have a chit chat. No fixed agenda. It's your platform. Feel free to say, do, share whatever your life, your story, your experiences. I will listen to it with an open heart and welcome you there.
Great. So from the platform of this Spotlight with Abha, I request all my audiences to connect Shikhaji for podcast, for your talk show, and of course to talk freely, talk right from your dil se. So friends, if you wish to see other episodes of Spotlight with Abha, do click to the playlist coming up on the screen. Do subscribe to my YouTube channel for upcoming episodes of Spotlight with Abha. And yes, do press the bell icon right there with subscription button so that you get immediate notification of my latest video. And yes, also, please do subscribe to Shikha's YouTube channel as well. You will find link of her channel right below in this description box. So thank you so much, Shikhaji, for devoting your valuable time. And it was really wonderful listening to you.
Thank you so much for having me here. I think I have been following you, Abha, following your work, the amazing stuff you're doing, the kind of people you're bringing onto your show, the kind of knowledge you're spreading. Please continue doing such amazing work, right? And I will propagate your YouTube channel in my network as well. Yes.
Thank you so much. That's really kind of you. So friends, feel free to give your suggestion in the comment section. The best innovative suggestion may win a prize from our end. So this is Abha Jadhav signing off now. Do take very good care of your health. See you soon in the next episode of Spotlight with Abha. Till then, bye bye, namaste, Jai Hind.